Hello everyone, welcome to IxamBee. Embrace the IxamBee learning experience for 50% faster job preparation. Your Phase 1 SEBI legal exam is already done and dusted, and now you are focusing on the Phase 2. Your Phase 2 exam is on the 21st of February, almost a month, and therefore I will suggest you to not wait for the Phase 1 results. You would have a good understanding, being the general cutoff. If you are going through, or even if you are on the edge, start your preparation. We've already done detailed videos related to what your exam pattern is, your cutoff, your syllabus for your paper 2, that is your legal paper, and how you can approach the descriptive part of your legal paper. In this video, we are going to focus on descriptive English, your paper 1. So let's understand the exam pattern for this. The exam pattern consists of two papers, legal as we already discussed, and your paper 1, which is your descriptive English paper. This you have to type using the keyboard, and the paper is primarily testing your writing and drafting skills through this paper. This paper is of 100 marks. 60 minutes, you'll get a 1 hour. Minimum cutoff is 30%. That this is the minimum that you need. But for moving to the interview stage, there will be a merit list. This paper has a 1/3 weightage. Well, what will be consisting in this 100 marks is an essay of around 30 marks, a Precis of 30 marks, and a reading comprehension of 40 marks. This typically includes 8 questions of 5 marks each. So basically, what you should be preparing or practicing, and what is the score out of 100 that you should be targeting as a safe score. For this, let's understand the past marks trend and the cutoff. In 2024, the marks of the student who reached the interview stage, that means who cleared the Phase 2, is given below. 16 students had reached. That time the vacancies were 5, and therefore the number of students reaching the interview is lesser. Usually in the interview stage, 3 times the vacancies, the students are shortlisted based on merit. If we look at the paper 1, if we focus on the paper 1, the maximum marks that these 16 students had obtained was 56.5, while the minimum marks was 39. This is of course out of 100, while the average marks was 47.8. So approximately 48 out of 100 was the average marks of the candidates who cleared Phase 2. Now, what has been the cutoff for Phase 2? So the cutoff for Phase 2, if we look at, this is 2024, 2023, 2022 and 2020. If we look at, the last year was one of the highest cutoffs that we have seen. For Phase 2 cutoff, if you will note, it was 71.33 and the overall cutoff was 71.7. Now this 71.7 consists of 85% of your Phase 2 and 15% of your interview, right? So this basically, if a student had got 71.33 in Phase 2, that would have been scaled down to 85% to be included in the overall cutoff marks. Now, what was the interview average? The interview average last year of these candidates was 9 out of 15. If I consider a student got 9 who had got the overall cutoff, was able to meet overall cutoff of 71.7, in that case, to have cleared the 71.33 marks, there could have been various combinations between your paper 1 and paper 2. A student who scored the minimum 39 would have needed 91 plus marks to have reached this cutoff, while a student would have cleared both these cutoff, while the student who got the average 48 marks would have got 86.6 plus marks in their legal paper, and a student who got on the higher end 56 approximately would have needed or got 83 plus to have cleared these both the cutoffs, assuming he or she had got 9 marks in the interview out of 15. In this case, it is easy to say that the safe score given how you prepare for your legal paper, how your interview goes. Of course, you can do better in both all these papers, but a safe score to target in your descriptive English is 50 plus marks. This is an average marks that we have seen in the past, better than, higher than the average marks, and it will also give you room to make good performance in your legal paper in the range of 85 plus for your legal paper accordingly, given you do not rely too much on the interview. Of course, if you do a better interview, the reliance here restricts, but that is something in future you cannot prepare for today, or you cannot guarantee today itself, but this is something that you can do today. So let's move ahead and understand now how you can score that 50 plus marks. Okay, so let's understand. First of all, it is very, very important that you have a scoring mindset, right? Understand, you're not targeting 100, you are targeting a good average safe score of 50 plus, and a scoring mindset will help you prepare well to understand what leads to these marks. It is not just knowledge alone, it is a combination of knowledge and how well you have the grip and control over the language, right? Please remember, what is this paper testing? It is testing your drafting and writing skills. When I say drafting, it is not legal drafting, but writing skills in a particular language, English in this case. Therefore, how do you get control? Control is a combination of structure, how well and clean and easy your structure and your answers are, how well you can write, which is easy for a reader to read and comprehend quickly. Relevance, yes, your knowledge, but not knowledge only content, but is it as per topic? Are you talking relevant things or just randomly throwing in thoughts? Clarity of thought, you know what you are talking. Don't try to bring in everything related to that, every word related to that topic, but actually understanding the essence of the topic and clearly stating those. Very important, precision, how well you can remain in the word limits and still bring out your thoughts in a clean, structured, relevant manner. Usually you are given the word limits. If not, we will talk about the approximate limits, like for example in an essay. From the past, last year, if we see, there were around 250 to 270 words you had to write an essay in. In Precis, it was around 140 to 150 words you had to write a Precis. Typically for an RC, every answer you can write in 80 to 100 words. So that is approximate. Otherwise, whatever is stated in the question paper, stick to that. And the last point is exam appropriate language. You will be surprised how much students lose on grammatical errors as compared to the knowledge or the content aspect. And therefore, it's important that you practice. So having understood the scoring mindset, let's move on to understand how you can approach each of these topics, essay, Precis and RC. Before I move on to that, I would also like to tell you that IxamBee has been guiding for SEBI legal exams since 2020, and we are proud to be associated with the journey of many of the students selected as SEBI legal officers at SEBI. We started our batch for the phase 2 preparation on the 13th of January, and our course consists of crisp videos, study notes, chapter test, section test, 10 mock tests for phase 2, paper 2, including the descriptive and the objective part, 5 proc tests for descriptive English, that where for descriptive part, both English and legal, you will be provided personalized feedback. We also conduct live classes, provide summary sheets, MCQ booklets, descriptive answer booklets for legal paper that helps in your revision and practice. Here is a snapshot of the classes schedule that is going on, and you can download the entire PDF from the description box. So let's move on at the essay. What is a safe template structure? This is the most safe structure that you can use for an essay. With this you can divide your answer into 5 aspects. The first, should be an intro consisting of around, on an average, 100 words, 80 to 120 words. The various approaches to write an intro, depending on your topic, can be including or defining the topic, explaining why the topic is relevant, and outlining what all you want to include or you're going to cover in this particular essay. This also helps to give a structure to your own thought process and how you do write the essay, and do not wander away when you start writing the main content in the body part. The body part can be divided into two aspects. You can write two paras. First para could focus on the current context and the core arguments related to the topic, and the second para could bring out the other aspect, that is the challenges and the risks and what are the counter views related to it. Remember, an essay should always be balanced, bringing out both the points and not too much opinionated on one end. The next fourth para would focus on 3 or 4 crisp actionable points about how the way forward can be. You should not leave it very vague awareness points only. And the last, never forget to conclude. Tie up your introduction and your main body arguments with one strong closing line. It does not necessarily have to be a big para, right? So please remember, this is the safest structure that you can follow to ensure that the reader, the marker, the assessor is able to quickly understand, grasp the contents that you are looking to present in the essay. Some of the favorite topics, this is not the comprehensive list, but some of the safe topics or the usually topics that SEBI likes to include. Remember, essay always have 4 options. You have to write an essay on only one of the topic. Not all of the topic are from the similar genre. You do get a variety to be able to attempt. However, some of the topics that SEBI usually likes to ask relate to financial inclusion, consumer protection, AI, FinTech regulation, digital fraud, privacy, investor protection and investor benefits related, climate finance, ESG reporting, market integrity, manipulation, insider trading or misinformation related, investor education, financial literacy or behavioral biases, corporate governance, compliance, culture, and risk management. These are SEBI interest topics. Apart from this, as I said, other genre topics also from proverbial current issues, both social aspects or investment related aspects could also be given in the choices. For the type of for the last year 2024 paper, you can also refer to our website. Let's move on to the next question, Precis, which is another 30 marks. Now the art of Precis is compression. Always remember, Precis means compression, not summarization. Many students confuse Precis to a summary. It is not a summary. You are basically compressing everything that has been mentioned in the passage given to you into a limited number of words mentioned. Therefore, it is very, very important that you maintain the proportions, whatever is covered, address the problem and solution, keep the logical sequence as mentioned in the passage, and your language should be tight and clear. Do not use unnecessary words or elongated sentences. Never add your own opinions. You have to compress, remember, not summarize. Never add any outside facts, and never copy lines from the passage itself. So how do you attempt it? Read once to grasp what the passage is about. Then form a 6-line skeleton. What is the theme, the cause, the impact, the constraint and the challenges, and what is the conclusion. This will help you structure and reduce words and compress it into the given word limits. Then write tight paragraphs, usually 1 paragraph, and check for the points that no new point has been added, no missing core point has been excluded, and you are within the word limit. Repeating again, remember, it is not a summary. Therefore, don't add opinions and prefer writing the Precis in an active voice. While it is not necessary, but it is preferred. Moving to RC, the last part, usually students find this relatively easier than the essay and Precis. Here you are given a passage, and based on that 4 to 5 questions. Typically in the past we've seen 5 questions being asked of 8 marks each. What you are graded on essay on an RC is the correct inference. That is what your reading comprehension, your understanding, because as a legal officer you will have to read a lot of content. So how well can you infer from what you read? Direct linkage to the passage, clarity and completeness in your thought, and being able to present in a crisp and short manner. No outside knowledge is required. Handling the tone and the intent of the author, and the precision. So remember, you are being tested on this, and based on this 6-line format you can also write your answers for your RC. So now what is the way forward? Please do not wait for the phase 1 result. Start practicing. You should be practicing 3 to 4 essays per week in a timed manner, not just randomly. A Precis, again 2 or 3 Precis in a week. For this you can read editorials every day from a financial newspaper and try to condense that into 140 to 150 words. It is good to pick up editorials and no other random news, because editorials are usually balanced, giving you both sides of views. That will help you also get certain points which will help in your essay writing later on. RC, again 2 or 3 passages per week you can practice, and please practice by answering the questions in a written, or rather written, I will say, in a typed format. Okay, don't just read and in your mind think, okay, I know the answers. Please practice by typing. And one more technical advice I will give you: the laptop, system, computer, keyboard that you are using at home, you are comfortable with. At the exam center you may not get the most friendliest of keyboards, and therefore please practice to avoid any kind of technical glitches in the exam hall, or any speed loss because of a different or a new keyboard that you are being exposed to in the exam hall. I would request you to take an external keyboard which you are not comfortable with, which is not in the best of shapes, to help practice typing at home. At IxamBee, we offer descriptive English mock test. We provide a total of 5. First 2 are already live, and the remaining 3 will also be made live in a phased manner over the month of January. When you attempt this, we provide personalized feedback on your performance on your essay, Precis, and RC. And otherwise, you can practice on your own from the important topics, and Precis from editorials and RCs from editorials. If you need any other help, you can reach out to us at 920-552-4028. Wishing you all the best.